Hi everyone. I'd like to ask you all a quick question. Don't you ever feel like life is pulling you down? I know I feel that way sometimes. Well, there's something that is always pulling us down constantly, and that's gravity. Gravity is such an overwhelming concept that I I don't want it to weigh down on you guys. So I split it up into three sections: general information, space, and technology. Now, I know most of you know what gravity is. Heck, some most of you might even have PhDs on it. But for those of you that don't, here's NASA's Star Child program's definition of gravity. Gravity is the force of attraction that exists between any two masses, any two bodies, and any two particles. Now we know what gravity is, but we don't know how it came to be. How was it discovered? Well, according to Hubby Thompson and Sarah Harburn from Stanford University, in the beginning of the 1500s, Galileo Galilei and Tycho Brahe found out and discovered that the Earth and the other planets revolved around the Sun. But it was Johannes Kepler that derived that they didn't orbit in a circular loop. It was more of an elliptical. But why not a circular? Well, introducing the famous scientist, no, not Albert Einstein, it is Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton is a famous mathematician and physicist. Uh, Isaac wondered why the moon stayed in Earth's orbit. Well, being a projectile object, it should have detached, but it was pulled down by a force, keeping it here. Newton called this force gravity and determined that this force exists between any and all objects, and it is required to change the direction and speed of an object. Now it's Albert Einstein's turn. And in Albert Einstein's theory of general relativity, Albert explained that gravity is so strong that it can bend space and time. So strong that it can bend the fastest thing in the known universe, which is light. And it took 10 years for him to prove his theory. Now, and since then, a plethora of scientists have added on to what gravity is. Now, space. A gravitational field exists between all objects and is the region around us that attracts one to each other in a linear line. Now, we all know that the planets revolve around the sun, but do we know what the solar system revolves around? No. Most of us don't know that, but from NASA's site.org, I found out that our sun was part of a star cluster, which star clusters are groups of suns that show feelings, emotions, type like they show qualities of a human being, such as grouping together for safety when they're young, growing out of their families and spreading out when they're older, and grouping back up when they're older again, such as our sun. Our sun belonged to an open cluster, which is a group of stars that group together when they're really young. And when they become stronger, the star cluster dissipates and they move on. Now, our sun is wandering the cosmos all by itself along our, our black hole, which is named Sagittarius A. Now, I know I've said this a lot now, but gravity is the thing that pulls us together with attracts us to other objects. Now, technology. You'd think that us humans have been studying gravity for so long, have developed technology that uses gravity. Well, that's not the case. A few examples of the technology that exists that humans use are dams, pulleys, engines, road drains, and water purification, which are what uses gravity. But what if we could harness that gravitational force? What if we could tame one of the forces of nature? We would be able to terraform other planets so they'd be habitable for humans. It would enable us to travel through space and time faster. And it would also help us have a better life. Now, we have learned about the general information about gravity, space, and even the technology. This is Jesus Gonzalez signing off.